Was arrested last year, accused of planning to attack Peter Dutton at his Queensland home. Campaigning in Western Australia, the opposition leader says his family are okay, and that's the main thing that matters.
Earlier, my kids are safe, and so that puts it all into perspective.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he spoke with Mr Dutton earlier today.
The number of threats that have been made to parliamentarians has increased.
This year's election campaign is being run with an increased security presence, mostly because of concerns about protesters.
Adelaide City Council's 2022 election of the Central Ward has been declared void by the District Court. It means by-elections will have to be held for 4 seats. It comes after a finding the election had been affected by illegal practices and vote harvesting for Councillor Jing Lee. Major crime detectives have arrested 2 men over the murder of Woodville Gardens man Bill Frangos in November. It's alleged the 72-year-old was killed some hours before his body was found after a fire at his Essex Street house. Police recently released CCTV showing several men coming and going from the property. The 2 27-year-olds have been charged with murder, arson and destroying human remains. They're expected to face court on Monday. A helicopter has broken apart mid-air and crashed into New York's Hudson River. 6 people have been killed, including 3 children, when the aircraft lost its rotor and fell into the water 15 minutes after takeoff. Gather Round is scoring major tourism goals. From Thursday to Saturday, average occupancy in our hotels is 94%, with an average of more than 10,500 rooms occupied each night. Premier Peter Malinauskas says this year's Gather Round is primed to be the biggest yet.
In terms of economic benefit, I think we'll crack the $100 million mark this year. Last year was $90 million, but this year is definitely bigger, and you can feel it walking around town.
Turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Collect the new 2025 AFL footy cards at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
Bailey Smith expects to be fined for raising 2 middle fingers at Crows fans after last night's win at the Adelaide Oval. The Cant Star says he was defending captain Patrick Dangerfield and makes no apologies.
No way, mate. No, it's just about, look, sorry for the kids if they look at that sort of stuff, but no, it's all part of it. Obviously in enemy territory, and there's only so much you can cop when they start saying sort of personal slurs to Danger, our captain and stuff.
And tonight, Gather Round continues with Collingwood facing Sydney. Still on footy, and North Melbourne's Luke Davies-Uniacke has finally ended speculation about his future, the 25-year-old midfielder signing a 7-year contract extension. Jason Day is the best-placed Aussie heading into the second round of the Masters tonight. The former world number 1 is 5 shots behind the leader, Justin Rose. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon, looking really good for the run home today. We're accident breakdown free, which is excellent. Gather Round is continuing today, particularly around Elder Park, so lots of people around there today, and the Adelaide Oval. Look out for road closures and lots of folk. Do have works today at Glenelg North, there on Tapley's Hill Road, causing a few delays, and a little bit sluggish at the moment at Riverlea Park. That's Port Wakefield Road near Carmelo Road. Canberra today, Jetty Road, Largs Bay, and McGill Road at McGill. Panadol helps relieve everyday pain. Not the pain of hearing, "Are we there yet?" 100 times, but for the headache it gives you. Panadol's got you covered. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Incorrect use could be harmful. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Sunny and 29 today, 33 tomorrow, Sunday and Monday, then 32 for Tuesday. Right now, 29. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
On Brenton Bradless tonight, see Geelong star Bailey Smith's angry reaction at a Crows fan. The star explains what sparked it and why he's not sorry. The IVF bungle which saw a woman give birth to a stranger's baby, and unlocking the secret to a happy retirement. A groundbreaking survey of over 60s shining a bright light on preparing for life after work. 9 News, your news. Nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Streaming live via the FIVEAA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is FIVEAA, always Adelaide.
Started so positively with Walker's goal.
The Cats kick off Gather Round with a magnificent come from behind win. Geelong gather the 4 points.
they were really good in that final term, and we let ourselves down with a little bit of fundamental stuff. They did really well to come back, which is, frustrating.
He's now standing start and on a goal. Ben Key, 2.25. Crows have got 5, and they are scoring like an avalanche again. Another masterclass from these classy Cats, and they will once again be premiership contenders, you would think, off the back of a performance like that.
We got a lot wrong in that last quarter, just some decision-making, our execution. It was really uncharacteristic of us. It wasn't us.
Well, they were push biscuits in the end, flat as, because they were monstered by Geelong.
They weren't able to sort of arrest any momentum back in that quarter.
Don't even worry about lifting the lid. Lift the lid after we've actually done something.
This game right here, right now, decides whether Matthews Nicks coaches in 2026.
It's not easy to come up 5 days later and play one of the biggest games of the year.
How great was the crowd? The crowd was amazing.
It is a masterpiece gather out, and South Australia is the place to host it. It has been incredible.
Broadcasting live from Telstra Plaza at Adelaide Oval, this is the 5AA Gather Round Sport Show. Stephen Rowe and Tim Ginniver.
A recount of last night. We are back for night 2. Gather round. Friday night footy live from the Southern Plaza at the Adelaide Oval. Great to have your company tonight for our Footy Friday, all thanks to Rusden Wines in the Barossa Valley, home of the Blackgut Shiraz. RusdenWines.com.au as we build up to another big night of footy. Timmy G, Rowey, good evening to you.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Fantastic to be here. I'm absolutely loving it. We kicked off Gather Round in absolute style. An electric game between two sides who were just going for broke. 119 plays 100. What a magnificent display of football. Yes, understanding Crows lost and they would be disappointed with the loss, but after 5 days I think eventually it was just that run them down. But look, it's exciting times. We want to hear from you. It's the Rusden's Blackguts Footy Friday, 8223 0000. Tell us, where did the Crows lose it? Should Bailey Smith have delivered the double bird, and is $1,500 enough for that? And tell us about your gather round experience so far. I've had enormous amount of experiences that I'd like to share with my co-host Stephen Rowe. Rowey, welcome.
Timmy, well, fill us in.
Yes, well, what I've loved, and I'm deliberately catching public transport ever since we had our show on Wednesday night, and just getting on the train. There is just always somebody in a different colour Guernsey, whether it's Brisbane or Collingwood or Sydney or whatever. Great? And it's fantastic. So I'm welcoming them and saying, thanks for coming. I really appreciate you coming over. Tell us, have you been before? And I'm basically doing interviews on the train.
Timmy G, the ambassador for SA Great.
Yes.
Gather round.
I'm doing it quite regularly and I'm loving it. And the feedback has been enormous. I caught the train in today. Got off at about 1 o'clock at the Adelaide railway station. All the Collingwood and Sydney people came off, and the staff, I got to say, were outstanding. They go, guys, you're with the footy. Come here. You don't have to pay. Open the gate for them. Let them all wander through. It was just really encouraging to see all of this building up. But it all started for me, Rowey, this morning, hosting the myeloma breakfast. Sandy Roberts, who came on with us last week, of course, has been diagnosed with myeloma, and he was, he's championing the cause. And Jeff Brown, the previous Collingwood president, was there. He's now president of Myeloma Australia because he's been diagnosed with myeloma. Oh, wow. I know. And he said this really pertinent thing, was a bit shy. He said, look, average survival rate's 5 years. He said, Sandy and I were talking about it. In 3 years' time, either one or both of us won't be here. And it was amazing.
That hits home, doesn't it?
What a show they put on. Brian Taylor was there. He did a roaming Brian around the room.